So this is
Paragon
your
points,
tutorial
I
on
see.
making Liara do shit and for you, which is you
Yes.
Not a
order
problem for someone with biotics. I can use singularity to draw them out.
I will say Shockwave looks cooler in this game.
Good. Let's find a way up.
No, overall, like, the mechanics improved a lot between every single game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The 3 is
Except for the cover
definitely
system,
far
which is still
yeah,
irritatingly sticky.
There's gotta be another way up.
very
But it's
sticky
actually
and
useful.
stiff.
Like, remember in Mass Effect 1 where you had, like, the cover system,
man.
but unless you were shooting guys that had guns, it was useless? Because, like, monsters or rabid wolves or whatever would come up and just chew the crap out of you? Yeah.
The next, there was chaos. Didn't even.
In Mass
And
Effect,
then in Mass Effect 2, you would stick your head up for no reason. Like, you'd get behind cover, but not all the way.
And they could actually
then rocket
shoot
to
you,
the face.
yeah.
First rule of the cog is, boy, get your head down. That combat roll. Sorry,
the
that
combat in
always
this
is
game
ridiculous.
is a lot more like fun too. Like
Yeah. They
added
stopped
a lot of
adhering
different
so
features.
hard to the oh, we have to have cover shooting. Why is there a gigantic hole here for no reason? What
Right.
what
You know
purpose
what-
does that serve?
That combat roll would be so much more satisfying if we had a button for it. That's context sensitive and mixed with the sprint button. So it's like, oh, I need to sprint or get out
You
of
hit
cover.
the double tap,
and you do a little
the
roll.
sprint button.
It's like in cover, out of cover, run, and do a combat roll are all the same button. Why?
Yeah.
I know controllers don't have a lot of buttons. Actually, controllers have a crap ton of buttons. They have way more buttons than they need to make sure that all 3 of those activities have their own button. There's just no reason for the whole game to collapse basically every non-shooting activity to a single button. It's stupid.
Back to what Josh was saying about the random hole. As the game's gameplay has gotten better across the series, the logic of these spaces has gotten less realistic. It doesn't feel lived in. Like, the original Mass Effect, the Citadel, felt like a real place. It felt like I was playing an Achronauts or any other RPG from, years ago. And when you get to the Citadel level here, it's like, here's a tunnel where you can shoot some guys.
Let's move.
Yeah, what's this tunnel for?
Well, the Citadel is still better in this game than it was in 2. In 2 it was like, oh look, the Citadel, the most massive construction in the entire galaxy, the center of
it's a
galactic
skybox.
politics, and there's about, like, 200 square meters of space in it, apparently.
Well, I mean, the same thing could be said about the first game. Really, what made 2 work, I think, were like Thane's missions where you would sneak around and follow the guy.
you'd be up on the rafter.
And you would see all sorts of, like, there was clubs and there were politicians, and it felt like a lived-in, breathed-in space, whereas now when you get to the Citadel, it's like a hospital and then eventually a shooting gallery.
And the
It
hospital
honestly
is
feels-
in, like, a sky bridge, which never made sense to me.
It feels like a Kingdom Hearts or Final Fantasy town, where it's like no one actually lives
Ooh.
here. It just looks pretty.
Flashlights. It might become a survival horror level. Oh wait, that would be too cool.
This is a really weird sequel to Dead Space.
It's scarier than Dead Space, actually.
Didn't need to sell 5 million copies to get a sequel.
I wonder how your mom feels about Mass Effect 3.
Indifference.
She thinks the combat mechanics are greatly improved, but the narrative fell apart in the last act. That's how she feels about it.
In conclusion, your mother hates Mass Effect 3.
There we go. We have access to the labs. They'll take us right to the tram station.
That's why her and I get along so well.
Okay, now we pumped the Glade air freshener into the Mars. Oh wait, damn. That's not what I wanted to do, is it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I like how Liara runs around with a tiny little mask on your face. You can't do that in a vacuum. A little mask.
Yeah, what the hell?
Being in a vacuum is not that. Oh, there's not enough air to breathe.
She has biotic power. She has
Yeah.
biotic power.
So do we.
Not necessarily.
What we do in this playthrough?
Oh no! That woman in the skin-tight jumpsuit just shot those dudes.
I should have realized it when I met her. I was just so.
So
focused on
here's a
finding way
villain,
to stop the Reapers.
that's never been mentioned before,
Stopping the Reapers is the
and all of a
key
sudden we're gonna
solution.
create her and have this big
It's not your
build-up,
fault.
and then she vanishes,
But what
and
if
she's
we're
not
wrong?
important anymore,
What if there's
and
no
they'll do
way
it
to
again
stop
with
them?
Kai Lang,
What if
and
we
this
get our
whole
last
series
season
feels
spent
like this
scurrying around
constant,
trying to
man,
solve a problem
if you
we
could have
can't
just
fix.
tucked
Come on,
foreshadowing or
I know.
anything
I
into
shouldn't think
previous
that way.
games, all of this could feel like a
I don't know
payoff
how you do it.
and not like an ass
You've
pull.
always stayed focused, even in the worst situations.
Do or die isn't much of a choice.
It's not that it's invalid, it's that it could have been done better.
So
You know what?
practical, but I suppose you're right.
Go on, Red Scar.
We'll stop them.
Oh, Liara's breathless, emotionless voice acting is
I
really
wish
starting
I
to
had
grate
your
on me.
confidence.
I have the
Okay,
sound.
Doors open. Get to the
Really
lab and
what I
transition
think
through
this
there.
entire series reminds me of, and Mumbles might not like me for saying this, it
Whatever.
really reminds me of Lost, where like it's mostly about the characters and the love for the characters you develop over time, and not about the narrative. And if you get pedantic over what questions were answered and what, you know, logistically
Oh.
whether it makes sense, you're just going to get mad at it. But if you actually care about
I-
the characters and look at it from
Guilty.
that perspective, it totally works.
I totally agree, but the thing is like you have to be able to say, well, the big plot is kind of big and stupid and vague, but I really like Liara or I really like Garrus, so it's okay. But I mean, I think a lot of people, the problem is that they just get stuck on how fucking terrible the overarching plot is, so they can't appreciate all of the character stuff that happens.
I would
So
admit
now
being
look at this
guilty of
data
that.
pad here. He's talking to someone, sending some dumb message about, like, you know,
I think you'll find
go get some rest.
She is doing
Oh, she. Whatever.
And she types at
and
the
then-
end, someone
and then-
is depressurizing the area.
That's not how data pads.
You must
That's not how
seek
text
out the
messages
castle
work.
of Og.
She types it. Ward security, like, was that her plan? She was gonna type that message, send it, and then look into getting to safety? Note though, Mumble said a minute ago that everybody likes Liara, everybody likes Garrus.
Not everybody. I didn't say that.
Well, no, but I mean, the people that love this game, that they often cite Liara. Oh, I love Garrus. They're always citing the characters from the first game. Oh
Yeah.
man, I really love.
No,
Except Morden.
Morden.
Come on, Morden.
Oh,
Morden,
all right,
Legion,
Morden, that's
Jack.
Jack is also
Mostly
pretty cool.
Morden, though.
I love Jack.
Jack
I think
is
Jack
like,
is a cool character.
she works. It's easy
She
to
works
dismiss
better in
her,
this
but
game than she works better in this game than in the previous one. That's what I thought of her. I didn't like her in the previous game. I thought she was just dumb.
That's not
And in
true,
this one-
Seamus. That's not true. You're lying. You said last
What?
season that you liked her. You said that you
Did
liked
I?
Jack. Yes, you
Well,
did.
then relatively, I like her better now.
Okay,
and I
that's
don't
fine.
think but I said that I liked her. Huh.
You said
I did
you
not
said that you
remember
thought
liking her.
she was. You said that you thought that she dressed like she was at a Hot Topic, but her character development was cool.
Did he literally say hot topic? I'm pretty sure that's
No,
not what happened there.
I'm
but
paraphrasing, asshole.
I'm sure somebody in the
Go away.
comments will remember it and link to it, and I can remember what I used to think. Because I apparently have forgotten.
she's basically the embodiment of everything you hate about Cerberus. She's basically the result
Right.
of failed science experiments and stupidity on Cerberus's part.
Right, but it
And-
acknowledges that.
On a character
No,
level, she's a badass. She's funny, and she's really like cool to have in your party. Like I think she's a really fun character, especially like as a chick character. She's really cool.
She just needs to like put on a shirt and then she'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
I
fine.
agree that I never had her in my party because I was just so weirded out by that. Having her topless would have been better than that outfit. That was just weird and nonsense. And
Just put on some pasties. Don't
disconcerting.
pretend with
Yeah.
like you know
yeah,
suspenders.
even
That's
pasties
cheating.
would be better.
It's just through here.
I
Or
really
a shirt.
want,
I mean,
like,
ideally a shirt.
yeah, we said at the time we wanted like a DLC outfit that was just like a big concert T-shirt that was like a size too large.
the only
Oh,
way I
Yes.
Skirt around it. Stay out of its sights.
Why
Well,
are the warning labels on an Earth facility in the Sol system written in weird languages like
Because there could be
That's a really
Solarians
good
Star
working
Wars,
there.
apparently? What
It's a really good point.
what is going on
broader
over
sense?
here?
In a broader sense and in a metaphorical sense, because I don't actually play the games anymore, but I would really like to have a conversation with a woman in the Mass Effect universe whose breasts are not
in real life.
are not zip sealed into like a form-fitting plastic gown.
Tallies aren't. Jacks aren't.
Yeah.
Tally and Jack. Well, Jacks are just out.
Oh, this
What I
fucking
mean to say
cover
is that
sequence is
this game
so
the
dumb.
series has a sort of disturbing habit of giving female characters extreme breast definition.
Okay, well, this is the weird thing where, what is worse, having a character with gigantic boobs but is actually covered, or having like everyone have, you know, B-cup breasts but have them all hanging out in like medieval fantasy armor that shows cleavage for no reason?
You know, ideally something reasonable would be better than those.
Ideally,
Well, yeah.
ideally, I would like variety, but I understand why they don't do that. I mean, really, a big problem with this series is all the men and women have exactly the same physique with different heads stuck on, because that's way cheaper. It's just way easier to produce that, and that's a lot of the problem too. You basically, I mean, when I've done this kind of thing in the past, you make your base mannequin, your basically naked human, and then you add stuff onto them, you know, to make it look like they're, and texture them to make it look like they've got clothes on. But that's not, but that means everybody's got the same physique, and nobody's going to really have
The archives are on a
wildly
server.
different
We're completely
clothing.
locked out.
Again, I think
There's
this
not going
game
to be
does a
somebody
pretty
with huge shoulder pads or something.
And
I think this game does a pretty good job of that. Again, if you look at like, yeah, the Asaris kind of have giant boobs, but also you have people like Jack
There is
that have no boobs, and then you have Tali and the Quarians that are like average build.
Agreed.
And to be
Really,
honest,
I always took them as I always thought of them as being about the same build. I didn't notice a difference.
Oh, Tali is a
shows
totally
how much I'm
different
paying
build.
attention. Huh.
But like, the thing is like I didn't really take their appearance into account very often. It was mostly like I just didn't really see
Oh my
it,
god,
if
it's
that
the
makes
board!
sense. Because I was too busy like thinking about the character that I had spent 2 games with already, and now was going into the Reaper thing. Like, it's weird, like the whole appearance thing and the aesthetic part of who these characters are doesn't play into it as much for me in the 3rd game.
But I've got a
Shoot the
mission,
corpse.
and I'm not
Shoot
gonna
the
force
husk
you to come
corpse.
along.
Shoot the husk corpse.
I'm with you,
Shoot
Commander. I just wanted you to know.
Oh, that's interesting. You know, I was thinking the same thing. This scene
Let's see if we can
makes
get
you
them to
think
send
that
that
thing's
tram
going to
over.
get up and you're going to have fight it. No. You're just finding his
Hello,
communicator in his
Delta
helmet. He
team.
does not get up
Anybody there?
and surprise you
Oh
in a
my
cutscene.
god, if this
You know what?
worked.
Shoot it anyway.
Oh my god, that worked.
We're at the
Yeah,
tram
they dumb.
station, waiting for
You picked up their
extraction. All hostiles
communicator and said, Delta Team, oh, we need you to send the thing over for us. And they were like, oh, okay, person we've never talked to before.
Didn't they'll figure it out soon enough.
Who
Hey,
sounds
since when did we
nothing
have
like a
chick who
husk.
sounds exactly like human celebrity Commander Shepard on the team?
Good thinking, Major.
Oh,
Say,
more
wait a
tutorial
minute.
shit.
Alpha team leader, say, this is my favorite shop in the whole Citadel for me. Damn it!
Right away.
But yeah, I think this game does a better job.
Here they come.
It could do a better job of presenting women characters, but I think it does a better job than most.
Yeah, it's all relative. Are we comparing it to other RPGs? And this is pretty progressive. But there are
And if
things
you-
that you wish are
It's
different.
a nitpick. In fact, it really is.
It's
just
a nit- I would-
complaining about
yes,
their,
it is.
yeah.
If you look at Vega, like, he is totally, like, overly buff. I mean, you could make the argument that all of the sexes are kind of
Well,
exaggerated.
okay, but if every male looked like Vega, I would also find it weird and jarring.
Yes.
Well, to be fair,
the
Captain
generic male.
Anderson
The
running
generic
around with a
male.
Vega
And-
build.
And Caden's armor is built to his body. Like, he's pretty fit too, and it's built to his body. So I mean, like, to me, it just seemed like a bunch of really like in shape people running around.
We better wrap this up quickly.
well, that's I think one of the
Garrus.
criticisms.
The archives
one of the criticisms you could actually make is that the game makes a point of pointing out different female body types, like the Asari with the giant boobs, or the, Jack with her super skinny physique, and all the dudes are basically just buff dude bros, like all of them.
So, that whole satchel charge on the rail thing does bring up a question. Did they plant that there for their own guys, or did they just see through our deception and send more guys over to kill us, even though that hadn't worked in the past?
Yeah, and if they wanted to just, if they didn't want us to come over, then why did they send this tram?
Don't make me fucking shoot stuff when I can't fucking.
Oh,
give me a way to get over to the tram, you piece of shit.
Yeah, we'll let you use your
swing.
We got dead chick.
We got dead shit. Everybody.
I think I just made 2 of them fall through the floor.
Everybody sing the song of it.
The game does
not, oops.
The game does not know what to do with Vanguard powers a lot of the time, and so it just turns them off, doesn't let you use them. No, you can't go there.
You can jump over there.
Yeah, you can. But I mean, when this train was approaching, you couldn't surprise attack when they were all clustered up and slam into all of them.
I've got my new pet, Cerberus corpse. It's mine now. I can't even knock it off. It is physically attached to the car.
You fused him to the railing.
Hey,
I guess Morden has a different build, but I don't know if you would count him as like really having a male build.
The thing
he has the same build as all the Solarians.
If you were going with your character reflects how you look physically, then you would have human characters who are nerdy be skinny, right? But the thing is you don't have human characters that are nerdy. You have Solarians.
Right. I mean, you're never going to see a different kind of Solarian. You're never going to see like the big gym rat Solarian. You're never going to see the scrawny emo Solarian named Morbid Soulless. You know, it's all the same guy.
And the
and that's why Ruscar is the pun and mine is not.
Yeah. You made a point earlier that Tally had pretty small chest, but now that I think of it, is she just built like all Quarians?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
so that's what it is.
Why would they open this up so I could charge in here?
But that goes in with what I was saying at the time, that they make one character model for the species, and that's what this species looks like.
Man, BioWare was not brave enough to make an alien race where the men had boobs.
I'm not like willing to say that BioWare is like sexist because of the way that they do body models.
I'm totally not making that. No. I'm not making that point. I'm making the point that I was just saying that's why we get this. That's why this happens.
I wasn't even saying
a lot of its development. Yeah.
I was saying it got a little old.
I remember when Hepler was
hard to talk to a lady. You know what I'm saying?
I remember when Hepler was talking about girlfriend mode for Mass Effect.
Oh, buddy.
That's sexist. Oh shit, now the comments are gonna be going on about that. Guys, no, never mind. Go talk about that over on Mumble's thing. Mumble.
No! Oh yeah.
Yes.
Go check out digitalgumballs.com.
For all of your gumball needs on the internet.
Mumbles, when are you gonna post your video?
In a month. It's gonna be about Skyrim.
It's gonna be awesome. I want to see it.
Scream.
Now you just have me picturing like Tim and Eric and Shrimp or Shrimp.
Whoa! An ancient alien artifact that holds all the secrets that we need to beat the Reapers, and it's been sitting here since humanity got into. That's been just sitting here, and nobody's bothered to look at it. What if we had looked at this first?
Oh, hey, look! It's Tim. That's a weird reversal. Usually I'm standing on your hologram pad.
I love
Isn't
how
that the guy from Werewolf?
Tim the Toolman Taylor. Why is the elusive man here?
Well, you know, if the plot hadn't mandated that all the shit that we did with it was useless up until now, then, you know, that wouldn't be a problem. But you're not allowed to make fun of the stupidity of your plot that's already stupid. You're part of that
Obi-Wan
plot.
Kenobi, you're my only hope.
Your people are turned into monsters.
Soul Taker.
So.